Can I show you something real
Do you
quick?
want to?
Hold
Go
on.
ahead. I'll. Yeah. Okay. So, guys, thanks for coming to the podcast. We're chilling. We're going to do the proper intro in a second, but Luis is going to go grab these shoes.
Okay. So I went to a, what did I go to? I went to a garage sale film festival.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Did I tell you
we
about
haven't
this?
talked about this. Yeah. Sarah sent a text about it like forever ago.
Right. So I went there and it was like a garage sale and you go in there and you buy things. And because you buy it, it will then support this movie that they're making. So it was a whole little event. You know, come to our film festival, come to our garage, buy some shit, and then it'll fund the movie.
Film. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I went over there not thinking I was going to get anything. And then I stumbled upon these bad boys.
Let's see them. Oh.
These are Jurassic Park giant attack size Fury shoes. They have the pump down on the pump ball to inflate the air chamber for a custom air cushion fit. And you might be asking, oh, is this like a reprint? Is this something that like, you know, they re-released? No, baby. This is 1993 copyrighted right here. These shoes are legit from the fucking 1993. And
how much?
I think
how
like,
much?
I don't know. I could look in my Venmo, maybe 30 or 50 bucks. Probably 50. Let's just say 50 bucks.
From the 90s and you got them for $30 or $50?
And look at these, baby. Look at this. It's pretty fucking clean. I wore them probably 2 times, and I wore them at Comic-Con. So I walked around in these bad boys, and I got some compliments, and I was very happy about that. And I also wore them when I was interviewing, what's his name? The director of Alien Romulus.
Fede Alvarez or whatever?
Yeah, Fede Alvarez. Yeah. There's a picture of me with him. But yeah, look at this stuff. And the pump does work. I will say, like, it does get me a little cushy. It does the job. Look at that insole.
Insane. That looks so good.
Yeah.
What were you wearing with the shoes?
I don't remember. It must have been something green and yellow,
but it worked, right?
It worked. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
See, it's already got a little scuff on there. But no, what was I trying to showcase? Oh, this one. So at the bottom of this shoe.
Yeah.
It's got like this, like the dinosaur ripped it
like
open and inside are like gears of like underneath the Jeep. So no, this
that's nice.
Yeah, this is like the fanciest like shoes I have, and they're like, and Sarah would be like scoff at these, and she was like, "You're not really gonna wear those." And then I was like, "Well, babe, we know I wore them to Comic-Con, and I was the life of the party. Everybody was like, you know, calling me a king for wearing these. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah, they're really nice. So we're not here to talk about shoes. We're here to talk about other things. Welcome back to Punch Truck Nerd, the podcast where 2 friends, 2 amigos, 2 bambinos come together to talk about nerd shit. And this week, we are going to talk about upcoming movies of 2024 that we are excited for. 2024 is almost over, but this is the time of the season where we get some fun movies and also movies that are going to be in the Oscar race. Unfortunately, Ed isn't here, but fortunately, Ed does have a phone that can record his voice. And so we have some pre-recorded voice memos from our other host, Ed Ball, that we're going to play. So I don't know what they're going to, I don't know what the responses are. But this is a ranking. We're going to go from 5 to 1. And we're going to talk about the movies that we're excited for.
That's right. I'm Miguel Sanchez.
Oh, yeah, you're Miguel Sanchez. I'm Luis Gonzalez. I introduced somebody who's not even on the podcast, Ed Bond.
Welcome to the podcast. No, you guys, we say every week, I know it sounds so lame, but every week we're like, subscribe, comment below, let us know. You guys, we got so much feedback about give us more Ed voice memos.
Yes.
Like organically, that blew my mind.
Yeah.
And so here we are. You guys, we listen to your voice down below. Just let us know, okay?
We'll do whatever you want us to do, okay?
Honestly, like, we are desperate.
We got 200 subscribers. Isn't that crazy?
Dude, we didn't talk about that. 200 subscribers. You guys, we have this baby little podcast that we do for fun.
Yeah.
And I remember it was 100, and I thought that's the best we'll ever do.
Yes.
And we've doubled it without even realizing it.
I blinked and it was at 200. I was like, when did this happen? Yeah. We had some engagement. We had one, I think, a very little engagement comment on the last Joker discussion. Yeah. And I responded back, and I was like, oh, this is great. Like, this is the commentary. So this is a small podcast, guys, which means we're involved. You know, you want to get involved.
We're genuine. We're here.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
Listen, the moment we mention ads, you know we're cooked.
We're cooked. I could enable ads right now, technically.
You could.
But it's like I would get pennies. And is it worth it to annoy you, the listener and the watcher, to go through an ad? Like, we want to get right to business. You know
said
what I
the
mean?
other day, like, we do this for us, like, to just chat and talk.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's what I feel like for these 200 subscribers. Like, we're just chatting. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, we're hanging out. We're having a good time.
In fact, if you have a voice memo and you want it to be played in the podcast, why don't you fucking send it to us?
Just send it. Instagram us, whatever. Okay. That's awesome.
Actually, what is the best way to do that? We haven't thought about. I'm just thinking about it right now. You know,
Instagram has voice memos because we've recorded it on Instagram. I'm sure. I mean, we could probably screen record basically any message that comes to us.
Yeah,
you guys, we're spitballing here. We'll figure that in the background. If you want to send us a voice memo, do it. We'll play
it. And you know, you might be close to us, so you might have our number already. But if you're a new member, somebody that you don't know us personally, reach out to us on Instagram. We're mostly on Instagram, to be honest.
If we can get 3 random voice memos, I'll shave my head. Okay, like fuck it. I don't know. I'm just like, I think we could do it. I think we could get 3. Like, I'll figure something out.
Remember we were doing a Bane bit like a long time. Well, we were trying to do a Bane bit. We didn't even do the video, and you're like, all right, I'm here for it. And you like shaved your head for the bit.
I straight up did. And I was teaching like an improv class at the time with kids, and I shaved my head, and they were like, why? And I was like, well, we're doing this bit, like I'm going to play Bane. And this one kid goes, don't you have to be pretty fit to play Bane? And I was like, yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Cool. I think I still have that mask somewhere. I should probably use it for Halloween.
Yeah. Well, you want to get into this? Like, usually we have the news, but this week, you know, we've been busy. We're going to keep it light and tight this week. You know what I mean?
Lock in. Okay.
We got to lock in. Upcoming movies, a lot of movies, but we're just going to talk about our top 5. And
for the rest of 2024.
Exactly. Now, the podcast, this airs, October 17th, 18th, on the 18th. So I think from October 25th on, that sounds about right.
Oh, I'm going to be real honest. I didn't look at the dates. I just looked at what was left and I made a list. So
okay,
I think
great.
All of these are after. Yeah,
I might cheat myself too. Okay. Because like this was kind of hard. Can I just let's talk about like feelings a little bit. This was a little bit tough for me. Putting together a list.
Okay.
I wasn't too excited for a lot of things. And so I wanted to cheat and include a movie that came out this Friday, but we'll get to it.
Okay. I mean,
should I include that? What's up?
I don't know. I would say go for it. If it's
okay, fuck it. So upcoming movies, including today, when it just released, starting October 18th. Miguel, do you want to kick us off into what movie you're excited for?
Because I feel like I've got like a hot take of a top 5 movie, especially just for us, between us.
Yeah.
Man, I don't know what happened, but I kind of like became interested in this movie, and I guess I'm going to go see it in theaters. I might be the only one on this podcast that does. Okay. My top 5 movie, like the top 5 most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. Bro, I think I'm going to go see Wicked.
Really?
Dude, I know, man. Like, it's probably going to be, I don't know what it's going to be. Like,
yeah.
But every time I watch a trailer, I also have to step back. I'm kind of super into Ariana Grande. Like, I think she's super talented. She's like musically gifted. Obviously, that's her niche, right? Shut up. But she sings, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But she also is a pretty great actor and like does all these. She just was on SNL this week. And I know you're not into SNL, but she just like, she killed it. And it's one of those things where she's like multifaceted. And I know we talked about, not drama. What did we say? Controversies or whatever at the end of the year last year. And she was one of them. But I just feel like enough time has passed. I think people are into it. They want to see her. Yeah. Cynthia Orvo, she's a really great actress. She's a great singer.
She's playing the Wicked, right?
Yeah, and I've never been into Wicked. I don't really give a shit.
I have no idea what it's about.
I mean, it's the Wicked Witch it's the Wizard of Oz, right? It's the prequel to Wizard of Oz.
Oh, okay,
yeah. And speaking of, I saw a tweet that was. Did I say this already?
No.
So Wicked is coming out in a part 1, part 2.
Right. Let the people know.
Wicked Part 1 is coming out, and it's like 2 hours. It's almost 3 hours long. And people on the internet were like, the musical's not even this long. You know, and then I saw a tweet that was like, this is my prediction. It's Wicked Part 1, Part 2, right? Mm-hmm. Their prediction was Wicked Part 1 is going to be Wicked, and Part 2 is just straight up going to be The Wizard of Oz.
What?
Like a remake of the Wizard of Oz that they're leading into.
No way. That would be the craziest thing in the world.
I don't. I'm here for it. Like, I love a theory. Like, if it came true, like that would be pretty cool. Because, like, imagine they came out with a modern day, not modern day, but just like a retelling of a Wizard of Oz, because it fits perfectly into the story they're doing already.
I mean,
I'd need 6 hours of Wicked, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's even a shot of Dorothy and the crew right at the beginning of the last Wicked trailer, which is probably, they're really just more so just showing you, like, this is the Wicked universe or whatever.
Does it happen at the very end of the trailer? Like,
at the beginning. No, it happens at the beginning. They're like,
okay, that's also good. Yeah.
But I was just like, okay, like there's a possibility that could happen. And I love a surprise. Like, I just love, there was people that went to Comic-Con a few years ago, whenever they did that remake of Blair Witch Project, and they called it something different, and people walked into the theater, and then at the end of the movie, they were like, the Blair Witch Project or whatever.
Yes.
And so people didn't realize what they were saying. I just love this, like, let me have fun. Like, let me be excited about a movie again.
I do like to be bamboozled a little bit. Like, I don't want to. Right? Yeah. If I ever made like a movie, and I know it's like would never work out, but it's like I would want everyone to be watching it at the exact same time. Like, I don't want early reviews, and that's like marketing death. Like, people are like, you want reviewers to see your movie beforehand to build a buzz. But like, if I didn't give a fuck, like, everyone's got to wait. You're gonna wait, and I want the release time to be at the exact same time.
I feel that hard. You know? And that's how we used to ingest media. Like, think about like a popular TV show like Seinfeld. Okay, the finale of Seinfeld that aired, and everyone sat down and watched it. You know, there was no, I can watch it later on even TiVo.
Know, back in the day, in like in the 50s? Yeah, in the 50s, when there was like 3 channels, there was, I forget which show it was, but there's one show that would, everyone would tune in, and during commercial break, the water pressure of the whole city would like go up or down because everybody was using the restroom at the same time. Yeah, it would affect the city, and we just don't have that anymore. Like, I work at a company where at IGN, where they're like they want I want the previews right away. I want early access.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, well, come on, we don't. I mean, I get it. You have to the internet, whatever, and all that, but.
Yeah,
it's the business.
But you sometimes you just kind of want to experience it. And that's, again, has been a theme in like the last 3 weeks of episodes that we've been talking about. It's just like, it just explore those things yourself. Like, don't let people bully you into watching a show or whatever, just like go enjoy it. Man, I think I'm maybe going to be the only one that has this on my list. Maybe you'll surprise me. Maybe Ed will, but Wicked, top 5.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Wicked.
of movies coming out.
You know what? I think a lot of people in our audience will, want Wicked. It's on their top 5.
My 5 and 4, I think, are going to be like interesting, but my top 3 we're going to lock in. Okay.
And funny enough, when I was looking up these movies again, some of them already have like fucking Rotten Tomato scores, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? Like, how? Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a little break here, and let's see what Ed's number 5 is.
Love it.
Here we go. Take it away, Ed.
Only me. That's right. It's me, Ed, the third nerd, not here right now, but I do want to genuinely thank Luis and Miguel for including me on this little ranking of ours for the most anticipated movies of the remainder of 2024. You guys know I like a good ranking, so I'm going to pull what I'd call a Luis here and just go from my top 10 real quick.
What?
So number 10, War of Rohirrim. Number 9, Conclave or Clave. Number 8, Queer. Number 7, Emilia Perez. And number 6, and I'm going to talk about this one, and you can't really stop me because this is a recording. But my number 6 is The Order, which maybe you guys are talking about the trailer this week. Maybe not. If you didn't,
no.
That's okay. But yeah, I really like the trailer on this movie, and it received only good word out of festivals. It's Jude Law chasing Nicholas Hoult in a kind of True Detective meets Heat meets The French Connection, but with white supremacists. Anyway, the trailer looks really good. Check it out. And anyway, swiftly on to my number 5 is Blitz. Steve McQueen's Blitz. Steve McQueen is a director that I'm always going to show up for. Check out his Small Axe collection on Prime. I think I've mentioned that a dozen times, but it's true. You need to check it out. as well as his other movies like 12 Years a Slave, Shame, Widows, etc. And then teaming up with Saoirse Ronan, who is another person I'll always show up for, and in one of two performances that are getting a little buzz this award season. So should be good. And if I miss it in theaters, I can catch it on Apple TV. So yeah, my number 5 officially is Blitz.
Wow, incredible.
First off, commentary galore, but also very solid top 5 from him.
Yeah.
Like that is such an Ed choice, but he's not wrong either. Like all those names he said, I was like, yeah. Saoirse Ronan, yeah.
I love Saoirse Ronan. Okay, I appreciate also that he did a top 10. I feel like he couldn't hold himself. Like he just had to give his. What's funny is actually it was kind of hard for me to come up with like a top 5 even.
I disagree. I had a very clear top 5, and I have some like honorable mentions. But
well, you know what it is? It's like because the thing is upcoming movies that I'm excited for. And I was going to like, I guess I'll see this movie. But am I really excited for it? Like, am I just like, ooh, I can't wait?
That's true.
So I don't know.
These are the 5 movies you can't wait for.
I even so, I guess. Okay, so my number 5 that I'm kind of excited for. No, I'm excited to see these movies. Okay, my number 5 is probably not on anybody's list, but it's near and dear to my heart. And it's about this kind little animal that changed everybody's life. I'm talking about the one, the only, Mr. Paddington. And Paddington in Peru is coming out. Now, this is a little bit of a cheat. I will say this. It's a bit of a cheat because Paddington Peru comes out in the UK in 2024. But in America, it comes out a little bit later. So I'm just going to say, because we have Ed in our podcast, that we have some, citizenship in the UK. So
represent in it.
Yeah. And then, if we want to have any Mexican release dates, we can do that as well. But no, Paddington in Peru was going to be my number 5.
I just to say it because you said it. This is one of my honorable mentions. It's not on my list, but we are looking forward to it in this house. Like
perfect.
We've already taken a picture by the promo in the theater.
Yeah.
We're Paddington fans in this house. So my wife more so than my son, to be honest. So,
dude, yeah. I mean, it's great.
We're for sure going to see that one. It's a franchise. It's like, you can make another one. I'm okay.
It's going to be interesting because it's going to be a different director, actually. So we'll see if it holds that same quirk.
That's something to be said. Like even if it's the same somewhat cast, which we've seen recasting even in the second movie, right?
In the third.
The third. Sorry. Oh my God, this is the 4th movie.
No, this is the 3rd movie.
It's the 3rd movie.
It's the 3rd movie. Yeah, they only recast it. They recasted the mom in this one. But they didn't recast anybody in the last movie.
No, we talked about the trailer last time or something.
Yes,
I remember us talking about like the recasting. I was like, wait, hang on a second. No, we're not.
No. It's the same one. Yeah, they recasted the mom and then the new director. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm here for it. Oh, that's right. Because she went. I remember.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, top 5.
Hey, top 5. Here we go. All right, we're going to number 4. Miguel, what's your number 4?
Dude, this is kind of a recent one, and I was kind of gassing it up. I think it was last week. But this like easily top 5. Like I think I may go see this movie. I maybe have to hire a babysitter and get my wife to go, I guess. I want to see that Nicole Kidman movie. I want to see Baby Girl.
Dude, Baby Girl, yeah.
Dude, that movie looked hot, man. I was like, yes, like everyone's having a good time. Like sometimes you just need those like it's a vibe, dude.
Yeah.
I love the cast. Nicole Kidman she is working right now. I feel like Nicole Kidman is doing like, how do I say this respectfully? You know how Bruce Willis was like, I'm going to do 1 million movies right now. And then it turned out because I really think it's not that severe, but I think Nicole Kidman is like, you know what? I'm trying to fucking retire. Like I would love a break. So let me do like 10 bangers in a row, get my money and just be like, I'm out.
She's been working like non-stop. Let me pull up her IMDb real quick because she just had that Netflix show as well. Yes. Like the what's it called? Perfect Couple or something. The Perfect Couple. She's doing Baby Girl. She did A Family Affair in 2024. She did Aquaman in 2023. She did The Lioness in 2023. She did Roar. Yeah, I mean she's and then The Northman in 2022.
Roar and Lion.
Being the Ricardos in 2021.
Dude,
9 Perfect Strangers, the TV series. The Goldfinch in 2019, Bombshell, that Fox News, Big Little Lies. Like she is just nonstop working, and she has 8 more stuff upcoming.
That's what I'm saying. It's like she's like, I'm really gonna fucking lock in. I'm gonna give like a decade of work.
Yeah,
and then I'm done. And she should be, like
yeah.
I don't really want to say she should be. I would love to see Nicole Kidman. Like Michael Caine just recently was like, I think I'm done acting.
Yeah,
like, yeah, dude, you're like 100. It's time. Please, like, have a retirement. I'd be okay if Nicole Kidman wanted to keep going. But I also respect the work. Like, let me just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
So, dude, Baby Girl, we talked about it last week, but it's Antonio Banderas, Nicole Kidman. She's having a steamy affair. And on Christmas Day, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus' birthday? No.
Merry Christmas to herself. It's funny. I feel like there's been like a trend of this thing because I think there's another movie with Laura Dern where she's doing almost the same thing with Liam Hemsworth.
Yeah.
But no, Baby Girl. It's coming out later this year. Ed, what is your number 4 pick that you're excited for?
All right, coming in hot with number 4, it's Anora. That's right, Sean Baker's Anora. I can't claim to have seen a single Sean Baker film yet, but
That's
the word of mouth is overwhelming. It won the Palme d'Or at Cannes, and sticking to my recent tradition of watching the Palme d'Or winners the last 5 years has been fruitful, to say the least, with like Anatomy of a Fall, Triangle of Sadness, and Parasite, etc. And the fact that most movie groups currently have this as a Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Director frontrunner, I mean, how can I miss it? So, yeah, my number 4, Anora.
I just want to say I'm probably going to hit up that Palme d'Or hit right after I eat dinner at Chili's.
Okay? Dude, hell yeah.
Sometimes.
This movie is releasing and when this podcast releases. So this is one of the ones in contention. I was like, should it be included? Should it not be included in my list?
This was on your list?
Well, we're going to see if not, it's on my list, but it was in contention. Okay. Okay. So my number 4 is another festival winning movie. Sure. It won the People's Choice Award at TIFF. Those movies typically do really well in the Oscar campaign. Actually, and this one I heard actually like kind of okay things, but I still want to see it. It's called The Life of Chuck, and it's based off of a Stephen King novella. It's directed by Mike Flanagan, and Mike Flanagan has done. He loves doing Stephen King movies. He did Dr. Sleep, which was the follow up to.
People loved that movie.
Yeah. So he fucks with horror, and you always see him on Netflix. Like every year, he's got like the haunted house of all that stuff. So he's directing it. He's a great director, and it's got Tom Hiddleston, Karen Gillan, Kate Siegel, Jacob Tremblay, and who else? Mark Hamill is in it as well. It is an American science fiction drama, and it doesn't really have much to it, but I'm excited to see it because, like Ed says, he's watching a Palme d'Or movie. This is a People's Choice Award at TIFF, so I want to see what's up.
That's good. If we're gonna go ahead and just run right into top 3, my top 3 is a future Teen Choice Best Kiss winner. No, I'm joking. I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm gonna watch the 93-year-old Clint Eastwood directed movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, Juror number 2.
I haven't seen the trailer, to be honest.
You haven't watched it yet?
No, I didn't see the trailer. I saw the poster and I thought it was a comedy movie, and then I moved on,
No, it's something about Juror number 2. You're like, it's going to be a good time.
But it's good. I think I remember you praising this trailer, and I just forgot to watch it.
Again, I just went in blind. I watched the trailer kind of expecting, I don't think I'm going to like this, whatever. And by the end of it, I was like, okay, they're cooking with this. And if it's his last movie and it's actually good, I feel like if you're a Clint Eastwood director fan or you're not, like, I think that will sway your opinion on this movie.
Yeah.
Because, there's some Clint Eastwood movies that aren't my favorite. But this one just looks good. It's a great cast. It's Nicholas Hoult. I want to say J.K. Simmons. Kiefer Sutherland, I think, is in it.
Whoa, Kiefer Sutherland. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going off like based on what I remember from the trailer. It's a
Tony
pretty good
Collette.
one. Tony Collette.
Yeah.
Assuming. Yeah, no, I'm into this. I kind of want to see this. These are 5 movies that I'm like, shit. Like, am I about to go see these movies in theaters? You know?
Yeah.
So here we are.
All right, Jared, number 2. Ed, what do you got for us?
And my number 3, and I'm, just annoyed with myself that it's this high. My number 3 is Gladiator 2, and I'm annoyed that I'm actually getting excited for this, and yet so much surrounding it fills me with doubt, and that mostly stems from doubt in Ridley Scott these days. Even if it ends up being good, and please God, let it be at least good, what are the chances that it can live up to the legacy of the first? And I even hate referencing Gladiator as the first of something now. The plus side, maybe it'll just be good to see an epic sword and sandal blockbuster on the big screen again. The trailer was promising, although it gave way too much away. So who knows? Maybe there's something to it, maybe not. They're already talking about a third one, which also gives me pause. But so much hangs on this, and I'm deeply, deeply skeptical, but there's always hope, I guess. So yeah, my number 3, Gladiator 2.
Wow. Gladiator 2, you know how I made that trailer video? Remember how I remade the trailer with original Gladiator music?
Down below. Okay,
down in the description below. Check it out.
Yeah, watch it. It's pretty good.
It's funny because when I cut it, all I know is that trailer with that music. And that's the only thing I know. And so funny enough, I actually, we've been going to the movies, obviously, but I've been going to the movies and I've been seeing that trailer pop up more. Yeah. And when it plays, it's very off-putting because I'm like, whoa, this is not what I'm used to at all. And it's kind of bland.
Jay-Z song or whatever. It's like, no king in the wild.
But that comes at the second half of the trailer. You know what I mean?
What's the first half? King?
The first half it plays. I'm like, this is kind of boring. Like, it is not awe-inspiring. I don't feel into it. So go watch our trailer. And you're going to get more hooked.
You don't block your eyes for the trailer when it comes on?
Well, no, because
you're like,
no, this is the one. Remember, I had to cut the trailer, so I had to see every frame.
No,
of it,
I know. But you'll lock in for this one. You're like, well,
yeah. As some new trailers come out, then I'll watch it. And funny enough, I know this trailer so well that when I watched it on theaters, I was like, oh, they recut this from the original on Lease or Lee one. There was a line when Denzel's like, what do you want, or who do you want to kill, or we'll stop you,
and
he's
too
like,
much.
Yes, and he says too much.
Yeah.
In the trailers in theater, he doesn't say that line too much, and I was like, "What the hell? Where'd that go?"
Okay, dude.
So
you guys lock in whenever we release a video. Okay, that Luis has edited. That shit is god tier. Okay, just watch it. I promise it's going to be a good time. Okay?
And this one I just did real quickly. This one was just I got to throw it together. I got to see it for myself. I got to hear it for myself. That's Ed's number 3, Gladiator 2. My number 3 is Ed already mentioned it, Anora. Sean Baker. I think this one's getting a lot of buzz as well. If you know Sean Baker, he did the Florida Project. He did Tangerine, which he shot on a phone. He's also
never
directed
seen those movies?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I've seen the Florida Project. You've seen the Florida Project too.
Yeah, it's good.
He also directed Red Rocket. So Anora, it's getting a lot of praise, and it's I'm interested to check it out too because it also won the Palme d'Or. So me being all Mr. Fancy here, I think just for me, a lot of blockbuster stuff isn't really doing it for me. So I'm not putting it in my list.
Hey, good for you. I feel like we did a few years where we were like blockbuster movies. Right.
Yeah.
But I just, sometimes you got to step away from those. And
it's really I'm not going to pick what am I going to pick? Craven? Am I going to pick Red One? Am I going to pick what else? Sonic the Hedgehog, Mufasa? I'm not picking those.
Bro, see, I'm in that season right now where I was looking at this list and I was like, you know what? I don't want that. I don't want candy,
No.
I
want a nice savory fucking meal with delicious sides. I want to feel fulfilled and nice. Maybe next year I want candy.
We're 2 years into the podcast and I'm finally vibing with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know, maybe I kind of want to watch better movies. But I'll still go to Chili's. I'll still go to Chili's right beforehand.
Listen, you're going to get everything in this podcast. You're going to get fancy and you're going to get junk food, and that's okay.
That's what we do.
Our number 2, Miguel. What's your number 2?
Ed was embarrassed. I'm not. My number 2, Gladiator number 2. Okay,
whoa,
we're doing it
nicely. Yeah,
it did. I'm into this movie. That I hear what he's saying about that first trailer was like way too much, and it's been a while since I've seen it, and I'm not trying to watch it a million times. Like I really just like want to go and enjoy this.
Yeah.
I think this could, if they're like, we want to make a third one, this one could be pretty good. You know, if they're already willing to do it. I'm a little skeptical in the sense that it's like new actors. It's a new sequel to a property that's like 20 plus years old. People say it's one of the best movies of all time. You know, like
it's great. Yeah.
You can't just like make a sequel. But I'm into it. Ridley Scott is a little hit or miss, but we'll see.
Paul Mescal, great actor. Pedro Pascal, great actors. The guy from Stranger Things, you know, they're doing some funky stuff.
Who's also in Fantastic Four.
Right. Mr. Slumpy. Okay.
But hang on, wait. Before we do that, did you see? I texted you earlier. Did you see that new photo of Joseph Quinn in Fantastic Four?
He's like on a beach, right?
A beach, and it's that TMZ shot where he's like.
Well, it's very far. I really couldn't
zoom in. Yeah, it's nothing. But he's clearly wearing that suit, that like white and blue astronaut looking Fantastic Four suit. He's on a beach. Did you feel a type of way about that?
I just felt like, oh, that photo doesn't give me any information, and then I just kind of looked away. To be honest, here it is.
You would.
I'm looking at it right now. Okay,
you're ready to look away.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't really feel much about this shot, but that's okay. It's like when they released that photo of the dog in Superman. You know, I was like, I don't really care too much about this shot. I'm gonna move on with my life. Like, I see the back of a dog. Show me the front of the dog. All right, then we start talking.
Okay,
this isn't like. This. Okay, why? Why are we gonna mark this?
I'm only marking it just so you can cut it and we can talk about it later or not at all. But can we just very briefly talk about? They just released that Superman photo with Crypto the dog, and the internet was like, "Oh, I fucking love the dog," and the other internet was like, "I fucking hate the dog," and then there was a sub internet that was like, "Wow, you hate dogs? Like, wow, you're so lame. You hopped on this internet to talk about that." But I'm gonna be very real for a second. I don't love this direction. I know people kind of love this new like lovey-dovey Superman. He's got a dog. Everyone loves that. I just like I'm not the guy that's like I want a comic accurate suit. I don't want a comic accurate run. I love adaptations. I love
you want a Zack Snyder kind of world kind of situation.
Oh whoa! All right, I didn't say that either. Okay, but at the same time, I appreciate if someone comes in and goes, "I'm trying to do something different." The Batman comic right now is absolute Batman. Have you seen this? Where he's like. It's Batman at 26, but he's also like a fucking linebacker. He's huge. You know what I mean? And it's a different take on Batman, and people are really eating that up. But it's like, there's 75 years of comics. Can we just like try something new? I don't love when people are like, let me jerk you off while we show you the fucking thing you wanted to see from 25 years ago. I don't know. I'm not into it. So.
You know, DC's doing a lot of interesting. You know what? I'll say this: DC is doing stuff. At least it's doing things.
I appreciate that.
It's swinging left, right, up, down, in and out. Like, you know, the Green Lantern news. We have those like really great casting for Green Lantern.
There's 3 Green Lanterns, dude.
Yeah,
John Stewart.
Well, it's because it's a
Hal Jordan or whatever, and then the Nathan Fillion one. It's
so
much.
You know, Green Lantern. It's a core. It's a core of people. You know what I mean? It's like a police force. It's the police force of space. And so you have many different Green Lanterns protecting different sectors of the universe.
No. And on this podcast, we back the blue. Okay. So
the blue, they're also Blue Lanterns. Also, let's see. Who is the Blue Lantern? Now you're getting into it. You want to get into it, boy? We're going to get into it.
No, I don't.
Blue Lantern DC.
This is why, let me mark one more time. Just to be like, cut it. Okay.
Whatever.
No. So, Gladiator 2 was my number 2.
Gladiator 2 was your number 2.
Ed is over here with a bit. Let's go.
Okay. Well, first up, before I go on, Can I just say, Ed has been recording his voice memos very neatly. It feels like it just flows right into this conversation.
You know what, dude? Ed is like on a vibe right now. Like
Ed's locked into the pod, and he's not even here.
Me. Yeah, it's now Luis, Ed, Miguel, and Miguel's better find his niche. No, dude, I'm at the bottom.
I'm at the bottom. All right, Ed, what's your number 2?
All right, coming in with my number 2. This one I know nothing about really, other than what's been talked about at festivals and amongst critics, etc. But it is The Brutalist. This, as I said, was the festival darling and being described as a historical epic with a great cast: Adrian Brody, Guy Pearce, Felicity Jones, Vanessa Kirby, Joel Edgerton, Mark Rylance, and Marion Cotillard, to name a few. A 3.5 hour runtime shot in 35 millimeter with a 70 millimeter release and a sweeping score. Say no more, baby. Still, there is no trailer, so I really haven't seen anything on this movie, but just, again, what I've been hearing and the way people describe it, it just sounds right up my alley. And yeah, so who knows what the fucking vibe is, but word of mouth and cast alone has got me buzzing. Limited release is set to start in December 20th. So there you go. Number 2, The Brutalist.
Hey.
Again, haven't got much to say about it because there's nothing to see about it. All right.
Hey,
I mean, I have heard the news about The Brutalist being having buzz. But when I heard about the 3 hours and 35 minutes, listen, dude, I did that last year and maybe the year before. I can't do that again this year. I'm gonna need a little break.
Baby,
3 hours and 35 minutes. Come on, dude. That's a lot.
There are some movies. Y'all know me, but there are some movies that are like 2.5 hours, and it's like, okay, this is kind of long already. You know what I mean? Like a over 3 hour movie, it better be Scorsese, and I better be able to watch it on Netflix. He said a beautiful score, say no more. Like, he's cooking with that sauce. Okay. That was pretty good. He kind of sold me on it. Great cast also. That's a pretty good cast. Bangers.
Well, he got me interested in the score. It's got, let's see, what has this guy done? Looks like the composer is somebody who's like in a rock band and composing stuff. Yeah, The Brutalist. Let me read. Like I said, he is right. It is getting a lot of buzz. The film chronicles 30 years in the life of Laszlo Toth. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. A Hungarian-born Jewish architect who survives the Holocaust. After the end of World War II, he emigrates to the United States with his wife to experience the American dream. Laszlo initially endures poverty and indignity, but he soon lands a contract with a wealthy client, Harrison Lee Van Buren, that will change the course of his life. This is distributed by A24 and Universal Pictures internationally. I'm probably going to wait for this one. I don't know if I can do the 3 hours right now at this point in my life. I think maybe a little bit later, but that's a lot to ask of me.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I can't be like, hey, I'm leaving for 4 hours to go to the movie theater,
It legit. I mean, yeah, that's like, because look, let's talk about this. It's 3.5 hours at the movie theater. Plus now it's 30 minutes of trailer. So now we're looking at 4 hours plus travel time. Let's just say 20 back, right? So now we're looking at 40 minutes. So what is that? Almost 5 hours of your day will be dedicated to
imagine you ate lunch right before, know, and
you got to have dinner.
You have to go to dinner. Like, I'm fucking hungry right now. All right, that's too long.
Your body digested all of that food during the middle of that movie. No need to get popcorn. This movie better win an Academy if you're going to throw me a 3.5 hour movie. Who knows? Maybe when I watch it, I'm like, this is the best damn movie in the world. My number 2 is, where is it? Actually, Ed got me in on this one. I wasn't too sure about it, but Ed got me hooked. It's the Emilia Perez movie with Zoe Saldana, Selena Gomez, and introducing Carla Sofia Gascon. It deals with the fearsome cartel leader, Emilia, who enlists Rita, an unappreciated lawyer stuck in a dead-end job, to help fake her death so that Emilia can live authentically as her true self. This musical odyssey follows the journey of 3 remarkable women in Mexico, each pursuing their own happiness. This is like, look, I know a lot of people aren't into it. It's a musical, and There's gonna be a trippy thing, and you know what? I don't give a fuck. I'm here for it. I'm here for some sort of weird ass shit. I like the cast. I'm watching.
Hang on.
Only Murders in the Building.
In the Building. Yeah.
Selena Gomez. We're here. Zoe Saldana. You can't go wrong at all.
100%. Yes.
Yeah. And it won the jury prize. And where it won its jury prize and its female ensemble. Yeah, it won the jury prize at the Palme d'Or. So it didn't win the Palme d'Or, but it won the jury prize. So listen. Yeah. And it's going to show up in Netflix too. So if you don't want to go to the theaters, it will pop up in Netflix soon after.
Man, you're kind of selling me. All right. I'm going to see this. I was talking about Ariana Grande in the beginning of the pod. But Selena Gomez is fun on Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
And if she wants to do a cartel movie, let's see what she can do. She's good or bad. Let me enjoy it.
It just sounds like, what are all these things that you've just put together for me? Selena Gomez, Zoe, cartel, musical, and what is this? What is this mix?
Talked about with the Joker, it was not like the full-on musical that we expected. Well,
guess what? I like to be challenged a little bit.
That's what. Yes. Okay. Let me see what they're gonna do. Okay.
That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. We're getting to our number 1s now. Miguel, what's number 1?
This has to be Ed's number 1. I just assume, but this is the one I'm locked into. I have watched one trailer one time, and I will not do any more. Okay.
I think everything. Okay. I'm excited. Here we go.
We'll see. Dude, I'm 100%. We talked about this. Okay. I'm seeing Nosferatu. That's my number 1 movie. Okay. I'm sorry. This looks so good.
Yeah.
I love the cast. I love the direction. Robert Eggers, he really is doing, and I love that he is very open about I made a movie that was really good. I made a movie that I was learning, and he only got better since then,
Yeah.
No, I'm into it. Nosferatu is kind of my jam. On Christmas Day, I might do a double feature, Nosferatu, Baby Girl. Let's go.
Well, fuck it. Why don't you put in the Brutalist in there? Just spend your whole day. Get it
You know what? I don't want to see my family.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm just, spoiler alert, it's also my number 1 movie.
Yes.
I think this one has a lot of hype to it. It's got a great director who's going to do a really great job, a new take on Nosferatu. He did, we talked about in the podcast, we directed The Northman, he did Lighthouse, and he obviously did The Witch. So this guy is ready to play, and he's ready to go. And obviously, Willem Dafoe's in this one, because any A24 weird movie, Willem Dafoe's in it these days. Let's just be real. Okay. Do you know what my number 1 is? Ed, do you agree with us? Are you with us at the Nosferatu? It's got to be. It has to be. There's no way it's not on there. Okay.
And coming in with my number 1. That's right. I bet all of you have already predicted it. It was my number 1 at the beginning of the year. But that is Robert Eggers' Nosferatu.
Yeah.
I love Robert Eggers. As far as I'm concerned, he can do no wrong. Has not done anything wrong in the 4 movies that he's directed. I'm very excited. The first trailer was great. I'm avoiding the second trailer and trying to avoid anything else. If I can see this movie without seeing Nosferatu beforehand, that would be great. I've done a good job. And anyway, right now, on top of my excitement for this, it's kind of this dark horse in the award season race. It's not having a festival run. And so I'm really hoping that it's gonna live up to my own hype, as good as it looks already. And maybe this will be the horror movie that makes the Oscars open its arms. But let's be honest, probably not. But all that to say, it looks like an awesome movie. We've talked it to death throughout the last year. But yeah, dead excited for this one. Can't wait. Miguel, I am talking. Please wait until I am done talking. For God's sake. Luis, come on.
Sorry.
Get a hold of him.
Okay.
Jesus. Anyway, yeah, Nosferatu. I'm going to talk about it some more now. Not really. Anyway, love you guys. And that's my number 1.
I don't love.
Stay tuned for more of Ed's memos.
No. Delete him off the podcast. Don't attack me like that. That's insane. But he's not wrong. This is the horror movie. they're releasing it on Christmas Day. That's insane. We don't do that,
But Robert Eggers is saying I do that though,
I do. But we talked about it previously. Everything Everywhere All at Once was like an early in the year February or March or something, and it went on to win Oscars. Like, could you imagine in the Christmas season right before they do a horror movie and it actually is good? Like, that's a bold choice. So
let's wake up, Oscar people. Let's start putting the fucking horror movies and comedy movies in the Oscars. Let's not be gatekeeping this whole, thing. Some like dark horses here, like on my list, Gladiator 2. I'm curious to see, and I know I was dogging on it when the trailer came out, but maybe not in theaters, but I'll see it. Y2K. I'm kind of interested in that.
I know. That's good.
Let's roll up a blunt. Let's smoke and let's watch this. I want to see what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm curious, and maybe not excited, but curious. Moana 2, and then this movie called Werewolves. It has a supermoon event triggers a gene that every human being on the planet can transform into a werewolf for one specific night. It just seems like a fun time, and it's got. Come on, tell me it's got him. It's got him. No, it doesn't. Okay, it's just a fun movie. Okay, and then Ed also has a wild card or some sort of thing he wanted me to play. So, Ed, what did you want to talk about?
All right, listen up, fuckos. I'm throwing this your way because I know that you guys are going to say absolutely fuck all about season 2 of The Rings of Power.
Oh.
So I'm using the power of the voice memo to assert my thoughts real quick. Miguel, please stop interrupting me. I am talking, man. God damn it. Here is Ed's Rings of Power Roundup. So season 2 did just wrap, and I've got to say it was a solid follow-up, worth the wait. But I'm not as in awe as I was in the first season. Some minor quibbles I have were mainly just the pacing was a little all over the place throughout the season. But with that said, it is jam-packed with story and character developments. Almost too much at times, like it could have done with an extra episode just to help things breathe, as there are so many moments that just kind of feel rushed and thrown in, just for the sake of, achieving that kind of fan service. But it's still fun. Also, one of the big moments of this season is the Battle of Eregion, and true to the rest of the show, it is large in scale and visually stunning. The visuals in general are still mightily impressive, but the cohesiveness of the battle itself is a little messy and incoherent at times in terms of the progression of the battle. And it was just jarring at times, and it felt like there were script rewrites mid-shoot. For instance, one main character definitely feels like they get killed at the end of one episode, only to appear in the next episode seemingly unscathed.
What was that?
And luckily for that character, I like them, so I'm glad they're still there, but still. It was a little hard to not notice that. However, with all of that said, there were a lot of cool moments, like visually stunning moments, not just in that battle, but throughout the season. Shout out to that Balrog moment, and everybody who's seen it knows what I'm talking about. And a beautiful scene with Entwife. The best part is the fulfillment and the promise of season 1 that was this season was going to be about Sauron, and it totally lived up to that. And this season was at its best when it focuses on Sauron and who's disguised as Anatar and Celebrimbor and their forging of the rings. Their relationship on the whole was totally fascinating and totally worth the wait. Charlie Edwards as Celebrimbor is the heart and soul of this season. Watching his spiral into madness and then trying to break free from Sauron's grasp and manipulation is just tragic. But for me, Charlie Vickers was the real MVP, and thank God, because if Sauron sucked, or his Sauron sucked, this would have been pretty bad for the show, obviously. So, no, thank God he is like the perfect guy for this. And now that he's shed his Halbrand persona of season 1, getting to see him sink his teeth into this double act was a real treat. what he does with his eyes alone, the looks he can give are just of pure evil, and he just relishes the role. You can see he just is rocking it. One of my favorite TV performances of the year for sure. Both of them, in fact, but they really work well together. Anyway, that's all. I'm still loving the show overall, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. I therefore yield my time.
Good.
Love you.
Wow. He surprised me on that one. I didn't realize he was going to go to Rings of Power. If we're going to get what we're into, okay. Well, maybe what I'm not into, because I saw a movie this weekend that has been causing some controversies. This has been a movie of quote unquote like flops. People haven't been liking a few movies, and this was in the conversation when Joker Folie à Deux was going around. So I finally made my way to go see Megalopolis. All right.
Oh, okay.
And I all these memes, they got me wanting to see the movie, and I was going into it, and oof. I like to be challenged, but this movie pushed me too far. Straight up, let's just reactions. I didn't like this movie. I didn't have a good time. I wanted to leave. And this is the first time I thought of Miguel, and I was like, just get out of there. Why are you wasting your time, wasting your life? And I kept looking at my watch. I've never done this for a movie where I felt like I just wasted a part of my life watching this movie, which I did.
No.
This movie feels like a freshman was given millions of dollar budget to create a movie. This movie feels like it's pure concept and has no real heart to it. When the movie starts off, these actors are doing kind of these big performances, and I was like, okay, I'm here for it. We're doing something that I haven't seen before. Okay, great. We're going to do like a Shakespearean fable. This is like echoing the old Roman in a new Roman way. So maybe we're trying to do that kind of performative, big, legendary thing. But as it kept going, I couldn't connect with any of these characters. I couldn't connect with any of these characters, and it just felt like he had all these concepts and ideas, but it didn't really have any heart for me. And I think a lot of people can hang their hat on the concepts of the movie, and that's what gets people to root for it and to praise the movie and for it to make these daring choices. But I feel like a lot of the choices it makes are like, he makes too many like quote unquote bold choices that that, again, I say a freshman making, like, when you think of a freshman in college, you're like, oh man, I got these crazy ideas. I'm going to try all these different things. And that's what happens. It's like split screen and time stopping and like weird production stuff, but none of it gelled for me. The CGI at points was like not good. The production design itself looked like it was not great. The costuming, like not a lot of it, I just didn't have fun with. I didn't connect with. And you can have all these great concepts, but if you can emotionally bring me in, then I'm not here for it. You could have a very simple concept, but have a lot of emotion and connect me in. And then I think that's way more powerful than bringing in heavy concepts, because what matters in a movie is to have that kind of cathartic experience with your characters. And I just thought this was crazy. And Ed, I know Ed has limited time and space to go see the movies in the theater. And I just told him, I was like, just wait for this one.
That was
like,
real.
Yeah. Like, I genuinely don't want you to waste your time going to the movie theater, Ed. And when you could be watching other movies that are out there that are better and good. I'm sorry if you like this movie, and I am somebody who wants to be challenged, and I really tried. I really try. I feel like I find the good in a lot of people and a lot of movies, but I couldn't do it for this one. I just.
Let me ask you this. I want to see if you're going to play the game Death Stranding.
Oh, okay.
Because I've never fully played this game, but I also get the vibe that it's very like we're challenging, we're doing something new. It's very divisive. People like it, people don't. But there's also a moment where people like click into the game.
Yeah.
And I'd be curious if you, only just to relate to this movie a little bit, like kind of an experimental media,
I think why I probably won't play that game anytime soon is because I'm such like a baby gamer in the sense where like I am finding my gaming self. You know, you are, this is like coming of age of my gaming self. And so I don't have enough context or history to really challenge myself in that way, where it's like, oh, I understand what he's doing because, you know, in gaming we used to do this and that, and he's challenging that concept. And for me, I would go into it and I would just be like, what's going on? Because I don't have that kind of perspective or context to help support that view.
Well, only with my little like interaction with that game, it does feel like very experimental. Like we're trying something, and there are people that are like, when you get it, you get it. And I'm just kind of curious with this like little back to back Megalopolis.
Yeah, I mean, if you ever, I mean, just watch it super high. Like I didn't want to as well. I was like, I want to protect myself, but I should have done that.
All right.
Yeah. You know what? Somebody who likes this movie, send us a voice memo why you like it. You want to jump in the pod? I do want to hear people talk about this movie and why they liked it. I just can't. I can't wrap my head around why.
You send a voice memo. We'll do a live react on in the vein of Megalopolis. We'll do a performance.
I just can't get there, and I don't know how to get there.
Go back to the club.
Oh my god, I couldn't believe what was being said. So, Ed also had something. Last thing you wanted me to play. He was really going for it. He said, hey, bring the voice memos. And Ed really brought it. This is the last thing. And he was putting this under the category of what we're into. I have no idea what he was talking about. And he said, you would know more than I would.
Okay.
So this one's directed at you specifically. All right, let's hear what he has to say.
Okay. I'm talking to you right now in regards to what Miguel sent me, which is a quote-unquote California burrito, and we'll get to that in a moment. But essentially what this is a burrito that contains a flour tortilla, a big pile of French fries, smothered in mayo, and then shredded cheese, and then topped with what seems like a sliced ribeye steak.
Yeah.
I mean, without going into too much detail, it should seem obvious. And the amount, first off, let's start with the fries.
Too much.
You're talking about a lot, like I'm talking about a pile of fries inside the wrap and the comfort of a burrito, a tortilla. And
I mean,
if that, just picture yourself eating a fistful of fries, first off. That's a mouthful. And it's essentially just a big mouthful of fucking potato. Now, once those fries, though they might be crispy on the way out of the fryer, once they're in the burrito and smothered in mayo and cheese, those things are just going to get soggy and starchy. And it's just going to be a utter mouthful of just potato, soft fries. You know, the kind of fries that you get from a fast food restaurant, and you put them down for half a second and they're room temp, and it's just like they've lost their luster. So that's one thing. Let's talk about the insane amount of mayo put on top of that. Other than just like, what the fuck? I don't know what to do with that. And then you top it with cheese and then steak, which, okay, steak in a burrito makes sense. But the combination of all three, just like my mouth is tired just from thinking about it. There's no freshness. There's no there's no mix of flavors aside from meat, mayo, and fucking fries. But that's not what you want in a burrito. You want like a nice mix of things. You need like a little herb in there to give it a little life. But it's just like the idea of a mouthful of fries with maybe like a chunk of steak here and there, and then a boatload of mayo just does not sound appetizing to me. Furthermore, what the fuck? Like, what distinguishes this as a California burrito? Most things with California have an avocado. And avocado would be welcome in this particular burrito.
Yeah, absolutely.
So just like building, just like the very idea of this is kind of just insulting and disgusting. Just like throwing fries on a pizza, fries in a sandwich. It's
Okay.
just not necessary. Fries are a side. Fries belong on the side. Now, if they were like little chunks of potato, crispy potatoes, you're talking about something else. That's something that's like been thought out and can mix with the rest of the ingredients within the burrito. You put fries in a burrito or a sandwich or whatever, you've got a layer of fries, and that's about it. And that's a hell of a mouthful. Anyway, run over. Miguel wanted me to talk about this. That's the only reason why I am talking about this. And I hope I've made myself quite clear. It's a stupid idea. And I'm sorry, California, but some idiot out there thought, oh, well, this best represents the state of California. No, I don't think so. I don't think anybody in California would fucking agree with that either if you were looking at this thing. And I'm watching this video right now, and it just disgusts me. It's a good-looking steak, too, furthermore. So, loss on them, that is just kind of the pinnacle of gluttony and excess. Not for me. Thank you.
I'm just going to say this. All right. So let's imagine Ed and me and you get together.
Okay.
LA, we're drunk, and I come home to the B&B or whatever, and I'm like, hey, I got burritos. That motherfucker will eat that burrito. Okay?
Yeah.
Like he's acting like he won't, okay? But I will give him that French fry burrito with steak and sour cream. And you know what? He'll eat it. All right.
Well, but it said mayo. I don't know about sour. Did it say sour cream? Because the mayo part is what's tripping me up more than the fries.
I mean, switch it out, baby. Like, it's fine. You want
to go in there and scrape the mayo out?
I don't know. He told me previously, like, French fries on a burrito are a no-go. And I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like you can find the right ingredients. He'll eat them. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm new to this thing. I mean, look, I know there's a whole school of thought about no carbs in a carb. I like tots in my breakfast burrito 1000%. But I think a tot can keep that crispiness more than like a fry would, because it just has a lot more surface area for that texture. But I'm a proponent, and I'll plant my flag that tots in a breakfast burrito, delicious.
See, I feel like imagine 32 fries and imagine like 5 fries. Like you could eat 5 fries.
Yes, I mean I haven't seen this burrito myself. Is there really like a crazy amount of fries in this burrito? Like
Ed would make you think that, like
okay,
he would be like, any fries, too many fries.
Send me that video. I'll put it at the bottom of this video on YouTube if you want to check it out. I put it as an example. But thank you, Ed, on the take about the California burrito. And he's right. It would have had avocado in it. Like every California thing has avocado. That's a podcast, everybody. I do want to say Penguin 4 came out. Great. Keep watching it. It keeps making me more and more of a fan as I keep watching the Penguin.
We're going to keep talking. Yeah.
We're going to keep talking about it. Might talk about it next week. But if you haven't watched it, just try it. It sold me when I was, not sure about it. But hey, it's been me, Luis Gonzalez, and with me's been
Miguel.
That's right. It's me, Ed.
Thank you, Ed. And until next time, later, Gators, baby.